In these challenging economic times, people are turning to faith for guidance and for assistance in their economic plights. But I think that this is not necessarily new. In the 60s and sometime around then, the enemy started to introduce into church the thing called social gospel. And some people even were fighting with the Sandinistas and the other revolutionary groups in Latin America. And so they're trying to incorporate religion in these aspects of lives, our lives. And I think that religion is definitely supposed to pervade every aspect of our lives. But it's not the church's business to really get into that because, you see, recently I've also noticed that many religious leaders are saying that in their church, gays are welcome and this and that and so on. It seems as if certain leaders are saying that they are the owner of the church and they control the destiny and the other aspects of the church, but it's God's church. Many of them are not hired by God, and so they don't care about the sheep or whatever. So that if an organization is controlled by God, it's going to be different because it's not what I think or what I think. In other words, if God says that I should have a certain thing happen in my church, which is something I'm prejudiced against, then it has to happen because it is God is in charge. It's not me. And I have to subjugate or ask him to take away my prejudice. But with the social gospel, God has given the church its mission. It says, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel. The gospel is good news of salvation. It's introducing people to the whole Bible and the whole way that God's supposed to rule our lives and to Jesus Christ. Furthermore, it says that go and say that Babylon is fallen, and come out of her, my people, that ye be separated from her destruction and her retribution. So that these two things, to go and witness, and especially to call people out of Babylon. So Babylon is fighting back, and don't want people to be called out of Babylon, and don't want the gospel to be spread, because again, it's also going to be taking away the membership. And so they have them going fighting windmills and fighting other dreams and piper's dreams and so on. So when they get involved in these various things like feeding the poor and providing things for the poor and getting into politics and all this stuff, it sounds good. Because how can you, as a church, see people hungry and people without clothes and not do something? I mean, but this what God says? I mean, you see, we try to put the cart before the horse. That's reversing or whatever. But you see, if Jesus says that, I think one of the prophets has said, I think it's David or Solomon, I have been young and now I'm old. I have never seen the righteous forsaken, nor their seed begging bread. So that when people are hungry and need money and so forth, it could be because they're evil. I mean, I don't want to say this, but I'm just talking what the Bible says, okay? Not my opinion. So that if they're begging the bread and they're this and that, and they're forsaken or whatever, it means that they're not of God. And to go out and help them is, I'm not sure if that is what he wants. If they were following him in the first place, they would live right. Because, you see, economics now has become devoid of religion and of God. As people go into church and they go to practice the economics in the marketplace, they're corrupted. So that an honest person who's a Christian will invest the money appropriately, seek a reasonable return and so forth. But these guys go in and give the money to the friends and getting commissions from you and getting a kickback from the friends and so on, right? So the enemy is the one that is causing the church to spread out and get in all of these different things. That, as I was saying, that if people were truly serving God, they'll invest the money out there, not necessarily to double it and to want to retire and go and sail the Pacific. They keep on doing what they have to do. Even if they get a windfall, it doesn't become the whole priority of their life, and then they can go on selfish pursuits. They will continue living as normal. They continue serving God. They do whatever he asks them to do with the money and so forth, and so on. So I think that people at these churches that are wholesalely going after helping people solve the mortgage problems and the debt problems, and they need to go to God on their knees, and the church shouldn't be involved in their personal life like that. But the enemy's strategy is to get them involved in all kinds of stuff instead of going and preach the gospel into all the world. Let people know Jesus is about to return. And also to call people out of the confusion that exists today.